Hello, welcome to Sky News live for a special programme from my box room, working from home. It's quite interesting. I'm sure everyone at home that's working from home is going through this. I was in my living room earlier this week. I've now had to move to the box room because apparently it's better sound and a better Wi-Fi signal. Today I'm going to be speaking to 4 residents from one street in Leeds to find out how they're dealing from life in lockdown. They're in an assortment of bedrooms and living rooms on their street. They've actually been keeping a video diary for us here at Sky News, and they'll be sharing their experiences in the days and weeks ahead. We can take a look at one of the diaries now.
Boring.
Who made all this breakfast?
Me!
Did you help? Who helped?
I made it.
It's time for Qigong, which is a class that I do online on Zoom.
Today I sent a message to the neighbourhood group and asked them if they wanted me to do anything for them. And now I've got a small request. I've got a shopping list here. Here's the cute people. Say hi to the camera.
Well, I'm well oiled, well stretched after Qigong. And I'm happy to be in lockdown because I've got a beautiful garden. Oh, I think it's beautiful. A lovely dog, a cup of coffee, and gorgeous dandelions.
Well, we've adopted this street here on Sky News to give a little insight into how people are coping with life on lockdown. I'm pleased to say, joining me now, live from Leeds, we have property agent Faji, retired yoga trainer Liz and her husband Phil, stay-at-home mum of 6 Sadif, and also retired teacher Claire. Good afternoon to you all. You can give us a wave because we've been through a few Zoom house rules before we came live onto Sky News. Everybody has their microphones on mute until they want to answer a question or say something. And guys, it's really good to see you this afternoon. We're following your lives on Sky News. It's up online, and this is the first time I've spoken to you live on the telly. Sadif, it's worth reminding people how you all got together, because like streets up and down the country, you're probably getting to know your neighbours for the first time, and it all began with you and a letter you put through people's doors.
Yeah, so basically once lockdown was announced, what I did was, my first thought was, how is everybody going to cope? And I sort of had a look around me and I thought, yep, there's me and my 6 children and my husband. But then I looked outside and I thought, I've got a street full of people here. And I was just thinking, what if they haven't got family? What if they're in self-isolation? You know, maybe I can do something to help them. So yeah, I came up with the idea to send a letter out to everybody. So everyone in the street got a letter from me, and it just said if anybody needs any kind of help or assistance, to just get in touch. And I left my number, and literally that same night so many people got back in touch, and it was really overwhelming. It was so amazing.
I want to bring in Liz and Phil at this point, because Liz and Phil, you've lived on your road for 40 years now, and I just wonder what you thought when that letter came through your post box, and what you thought about, you know, the street on which you live and how it's changed over the years to the community you've built over the last few weeks.
Oh, when we got the letter, we thought it was fabulous. And I jumped onto WhatsApp straight away and joined and offered to help, because we're fairly fit and healthy and we can carry shopping and things like that.
There's always been a good community spirit in the street. But to be fair, until Sadiq sent a letter out, we probably only knew the people 3 or 4 houses either side, a few others to wave to. But since the letter came out, we've been going out Thursday nights together, talking on WhatsApp. We've got to know a lot more people. We can now say hi in the streets and all the rest of it. It's a really nice feeling that everybody on the street is so friendly.
Yeah, it's really interesting because your WhatsApp group is now 30 households strong. There's so many of you getting involved. And Claire, what kind of things are you doing for each other during lockdown?
Well, people are offering to do shopping for each other, asking for anything, you know, if you need any help. And to be honest, it's just the fact that you know there's people there, you know their names now. You can say hello to them on the street, whereas before I knew my neighbours, but I didn't know the names of anybody else on the street at all. And if you're living on your own, it's actually really nice to know the names of people along your street and to know there's people there if you need them, to know that I can help people if they need help. And it's just really nice to start developing a sense of community along this road. It's made it feel very different living here, actually.
Yeah, it's really grown over the last few weeks as you all go through this together, but you've all got different circumstances behind those closed doors. And I know before we went live onto the news channel, you were chatting amongst yourselves, still trying to figure out whose house is who and finding out little bits about each other. And Faji, I want to talk to you because in your household, you live with your mum and sister, and up until lockdown happened, you were working in the property industry. And I understand it's been a difficult time for you because, of course, that sector has shrunk massively. You know, jobs have gone, you've gone from leaving the house and working long hours every day to being on lockdown with everybody else, with your mum and your sister. And I just wonder, you know, how you're coping at the moment.
Well, it has affected the business quite a lot. I have noticed that most of my residential tenants are basically, they don't want to pay rent. And as good faith, I did say to them that I'm going to just mark off the 1 month period. And hopefully after the next month, I'll give you a 20% discount. But it's so unfortunate that they're seeing that, look, you know, because the government hasn't signposted when this lockdown is going to get over, you see. So due to the tenants that lost their jobs, they're saying that they'll have to try to claim for benefits. And it's just like, basically, I'm on the edge, you see. We just don't know when they're going to get that. And also the property that were already vacant, I have advertised them. And it's been such a long time that no one's interested in to rent the properties, you see. So it has played an effect on me. And also, you know what, it just, you know, where everything that bad does happen, there's something that good comes out of it. So I'm spending more time with family, gardening, cooking. I'm just a man with simple pleasures, you see. So I'm quite humble like that, so it's all right.
Oh, Faji, it sounds like you're looking at on the positive side of things. So there's business worries going on behind your front door. Sadif, I want to talk to you because you're a mother of 6, and this will resonate with households up and down the country. Having a large number of kids, you know, in a house 24/7. I mean, I think you're lucky. I think you have a garden. How are you coping with that?
I'll be honest with you, I'm actually really enjoying my time with my children because...
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, for the first time in like a decade, my husband's actually been at home. He's had to close his business, so he's been at home for the past three to 4 weeks, and I'm just enjoying seeing everybody under one roof. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are challenges, of course, the fighting, the bickering, you know, that's never ending. But then the moments where they do sit and play together, they'll play board games, I'll just see them playing amongst themselves. And do you know what, it's just really nice to have that bit of fresh air from school runs and a bit of a breather. I think it's just let everything just slow down a bit as well from day-to-day life.
Now, I know you're all filming video diaries for Sky News, keeping us up to date with what you're doing in life on lockdown. Liz and Phil, are you filming the good and the bad? Because let's face it, we all have worries and wobbles. We can't be positive all the time. So how have you found keeping a video diary? I heard someone comment earlier that it's a bit like we're living through history at the moment. So what you're documenting in years to come, people will be watching to learn about what life was like on lockdown in 2020.
Well, we do have moments, but at the moment, my moments tend to be at midnight. And I don't really feel like videoing those. We do worry about Phil's mum, but
my mum she's 97 and she lives down in Somerset, and partly because of her age, and I think partly because of the lack of stimulus since lockdown, she's getting more and more forgetful and confused. And whenever I speak to her on a daily basis, I can tell she's struggling, and there's virtually nothing I can do about it. And that I find hardest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the separation from loved ones, isn't it? Particularly the elderly who have to be isolated for their own protection, and you can't go and see them. Like you said, Somerset is a long way from Leeds. How are you coping with that? Because obviously I would imagine you're in as much contact as you can be with her. Has she got people around her? Because obviously that will play on your mind because you don't have the same kind of access that you used to have to her.
Yeah, very much. She does have a lot of support locally. I was lucky enough to go down just before the lockdown.
Yeah.
and we arranged with the local restaurant to bring her meals twice a week for lunch. And almost every day, somebody contacts her and asks her if she wants anything. The trouble is, she forgets what she wants. So by mid-afternoon, she'll be sat there thinking, I haven't got anything to eat, despite the fact the freezer's full of food. But I ring her every day, my brother rings her every day, some of the grandchildren and even the great-grandchildren try and ring her.
Yeah.
But we just worry about her.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure she will be okay, I'm sure she is okay, but there's nothing like being able to go down and just give her a hug and make sure she's okay.
Oh, Phil, I know that's going to resonate with so many people going through a similar situation right now. Fingers crossed that this is all going to be over soon and you do get to go and see your mum. Claire, it's interesting, social media, we were talking about it in such bad terms perhaps before this crisis took over. But actually, you know, social media, online technology is being seen in such a good way now. It's bringing communities together. It's brought all of you together in a way that, you know, you probably wouldn't have done in real life before this. And I know that's how you're keeping in touch with your grandchildren, Claire. In fact, you were baking with one of them virtually today.
I was, yes, I was. I was making apple crumble with her. She was making pear crumble and I was making apple crumble. I don't know, it would be horrible without this technology, really. I use it every day to keep in contact with my grandchildren. I've got very creative about what to do when I go online with them, making up games and stuff like that. And yeah, without WhatsApp, it would have been a completely different story along this road, really. I think it's brilliant, the technology. In fact, I did think about having a day without it completely, just to see what it felt like on lockdown. I thought 24 hours might be quite interesting.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing, Claire. That's not a bad thing at all. And I'm interested into how you are going to carry this sense of community over when lockdown finishes, because it will end at some point. Faji, what are the plans for you all to meet up in real life when all this is done? I would imagine there's going to be a big street party.
Well, I normally do a block party in my area, so in my neighbourhood, and nearly all my friends come around. And plus, it's the Holy Month in a few days, and that month is all full of compassion, mercy, and do good for your neighbours. And I hope once this lockdown, once the lockdown goes, hopefully it'll be good timing for the Eid festival. So I'm going to invite everyone around and just have a really good big barbecue, and that's how I'm going to celebrate it.
And I'm sure there'll be a few acceptances of invites online now. I'm sure you're all really looking forward to actually meeting each other in real life.
Yeah, well, everybody know that every time I put an invitation when it comes to food and having like a good time, everyone's welcome. That is just the principle I've been brought up with, so it will be great. And every single person on the street that's helped out, feel free to come down. So it'll be great.
Well, it's been really good to talk to you all. We're all in this together, everybody going through different battles behind closed doors. But the one thing that's keeping you positive and going is your sense of community spirit. It's been brilliant to talk to you this afternoon. We're keeping in touch with you regularly here on Sky News. You can see your lockdown diaries online. And I know we're going to speak on the telly soon. Thank you so much for talking to us. Faji, Liz and Phil, Sadith and Claire. We'll speak to you soon. Stay safe.
Thank you. See you later.
Bye.